talk to my little friend.
Yo, this your boy Tono coming through another episode of Backyard Comedies. Always I got my boy, Skeevy Baby. Please hit it, baby.
Yeah, you already know that.
Is that Mr. Barino I got right here? How you doing, brother? Hey, man, we happy to have you, man. Before we start on you, we're going to do a recap of last episode. We had Pedro in the building, came through 20 years serving in the military. Started out that young, man, came through, laughed with us, had a good time, man. Thank you for sharing your story. Shout out to Pedro. But on this episode, we got the one and only, the best gun instructor that I know, Mr. Barino.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. How did you get started and want to, be a gun instructor?
Man, I actually started handling firearms when I was about 6 years old. My grandfather had guns, my dad had guns, and I knew at some point that I would be teaching people how to use firearms. So now I don't know if I'm an instructor or an enthusiast or what, but I'm kind of addicted to firearms now.
Yeah, so I took your class, and you have a very unusual way of teaching. You keep it real with us, and also you put your jokes in there. How did you intertwine your comedy with
It's funny, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah, being with making it serious.
Man, so there's no study out there that says when people are laughing, they listen more or whatever the case may be. I just wanted to be myself, and I said the best way that I could be effective is I bring my comedy to the forefront. Teaching you about firearms,
and it works
about
too.
Firearm safety, and everybody's relaxed. When people are laughing, they're relaxed. It feels like a family setting. It feels like I'm at home. So,
I agree.
So,
like it's one of your cousins out there.
Yeah,
Cousin! What's up, cousin? What's up?
yeah. So that's what I do, man. I talk about the firearms. I might crack a few jokes on you. I might do a little singing. I might do a little dancing. Not like that.
Oh, okay.
Little Al Green.
I got family watching, so my last name being Barino. We can't have you doing what you just did.
Because the Barinos can sing.
Yeah,
you hear me?
Yeah, they sure can.
What you got down there, Ski?
So, man, where do you see yourself going with the comedic world? As far as, are you just gonna keep it in the gun class, or do you see yourself maybe doing stand up one day? I wouldn't.
I've had so many people come out to me and say, "Hey, I want you to do stand up. I want you to do my event. I want you to do my event."
Oh yeah.
So I'm now working on my act.
Okay.
So I'm gonna continue, of course, with firearms, but I am gonna take it to the stage.
Okay. How long have you been doing the firearm scene?
Firearms, with actually teaching by myself, teaching on my own, probably now about 15, 16 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow.
That's where them grades coming from in that beard.
Yeah. No. The grades coming from the full-time job.
The full-time.
Yeah. And,
I understand that.
And I'm married. So.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking about that.
You have been warned already. So.
Joking about that part. My wife always tell me, you better not crack on me. That's one thing you're not gonna do. You're not gonna crack on me.
So. And I met her, and she seemed to have some fire with her. So you might want to treat her lightly.
She does.
So were you self-taught, or was it something like because we're from the country, so we was raised around men that showed us, taught us gun safety. Like, were you self-taught, or how did you get started in it?
Pretty much self-taught, man.
Okay.
My of course, my dad, my grandfather, they all carried, my grandfathers, and my uncles, they all carried firearms.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, or a knife.
Oh yeah. And so when it came to me, you know, I've always been the smart kid, you know, come from the hood, but smart, you know, always thinking things out. So when I touched the firearm for the first time, I wanted to know how the firearm worked. I wanted to know how to shoot it, and
that's important.
And I mean, from shooting lizards and shooting dragonflies and stuff like that. Dragonflies. That's how I learned how to shoot as good as.
What would you shooting it with?
BB guns. BB guns. When I first started out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 22 because that's what.
Boy, you tearing that up.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
You
22, man. So, you know, to piggyback off of you, like what else do you see yourself coming with your comedian? Because you got the gift,
right?
Like, how far do you want to take your comedian? I mean your comedy skills, your comedy skills out. Like, how far you want to venture out with it?
Man, actually, I don't want to work no more. Like, I mean, I want to work.
Who you tell?
But I don't want to like work as hard as I work. Like, I've spent like my teens, my 20s, and my 30s chasing the bag. You know, always working hard. You know, working in finance. I've been in finance 24 years.
Wow.
You know, that's why you see the gun guy, fun guy. The fun guy comes from being in finance.
Wow.
So I've been in finance 24 years.
That's amazing.
And I've always worked 2 jobs. I worked 2 jobs when I was in high school. Worked 2 jobs in college. Worked 2 jobs. I still work 2 jobs. You know, I'm in finance full time, and I'm a full time instructor as well.
So can I ask you a question about that? Because, you know, we have been in that role of being the family man. How do you balance out, you know, being the one dope instructor versus the king at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you find the balance to still be the family man? Yeah, and the finance man. Like, how do you find the balance to still say, okay, let me put my family out here and handle this? Like, how do you find that balance?
Having a supportive wife.
Come on, somebody.
Yes,
Somebody
sir.
put a hand on the praise on it.
Yes, sir.
Because when I come up with these crazy ideas, or I come up with an idea, or I'm teaching and stuff, she's always got my back. She's always supporting me. If she didn't support me, if I didn't have that type of support, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know,
where would I be?
Hey man, come on, man, why you doing that, bro?
Hey man, you know, because
That's
you know,
real, though.
honestly, I got divorced, but I didn't have the advice.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? With our age bracket, you know, we were just figuring things out as we was going. You know, or if they was telling us I was hard headed,
you won't listen to man. Just tell the truth.
And tell the truth, say the devil.
Yeah.
You know, I won't listen. You know what I mean? But finding that balance is important. Now that I'm older, you know, it's important to have that balance too. You can still go out and be the magnificent guy, but still you got to come home and still take care of the family. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you got to piggyback off that. I see it boiling on your face.
Well, you know I'm gonna do that. But so speaking of the family, man, in the class you spoke on, you know, showing your kids your guns and getting them familiar, man. Can you speak on the importance of that, of you know, having that in the household?
Very important, man. I'm big on firearm safety. I mean, I don't talk about it a lot, but I've seen a lot. I've seen people get shot. I've seen what bullets do.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a bad area. I could have been sitting up here with you guys, or I could have been.
Come on, Pastor.
Could have been dead and gone.
Come on here now.
Or I could have been behind bars.
Yeah,
you
know? real talk.
But the Lord.
Lord.
But no, man. But it's very important. You know, my children. You know, I've got 3 children. They saw me with firearms all the time. And I always tell everybody, you know your child better than anybody. You know, you know when it's time for them to say, hey. And most children at an early age are like sponges, you know. So it was very important for me to teach them, hey, what are guns used for? Guns are used for hunting, target practice, and to protect you and me.
Yep.
Hunting,
Same
target
thing my dad
practice,
said.
and to protect you and me. That's the first part of it.
Yeah.
All right. Then it's, hey, this is not a video game. This is not Grand Theft Auto. This is not Fortnite. This is not Call of Duty. This is not Apex Legends. You know
he called out all the games just so y'all can know.
But
he knows something.
But it's not that. You know, you shoot somebody with this gun, they don't get back up.
Nope.
You know, they don't spawn back in.
Unless the Lord now.
That's it.
You know.
That's it. So it was very important for me to teach my children about firearm safety. What I've learned is, as adults, as parents, we do one of these numbers. Well, I got a gun, but I don't want my son to see it. I got a gun, I don't want my, so I always wanted them to see the firearm. Just like, hey, you tell your daughter, you tell your son, hey, don't touch the stove. The stove is hot.
They still touch it.
Have you ever tried to hide a stove under your shirt? So
how black I am.
It burned them up.
So it was very important that I taught them about firearms. I wanted my children to be able to use firearms. Didn't want them to go to the neighbor's house and the neighbor says, "Hey, my dad's got a gun. You want to see the gun?" No,
we did it.
We sure did.
And it could have been deadly.
Last
thing that I wanted was for my child to be at home alone and not have a plan in place to where, like, if somebody came in the house, know how to use the firearm. Know what to do. Hey, you see Daddy laying there in a puddle of blood. I want you to shoot the person that shot me.
Got that right.
I want you to shoot the person that shot me.
Shoot toward him. Even if you miss him, just go that way.
I don't care if it was your mama. I want you to shoot the person that shot me. My son said, Daddy, you want me to shoot my mama? I said, yes, I want you to blow her head off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, who's your favorite parent? Me, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to GameStop. Let's go to GameStop. So you gotta know your kids,
But speaking of kids, just give a shout out to your son out here running track, man. How did that go?
Man, it went well, man. He got a chance to see national competition.
Hey, I remember them days.
I remember them days. National. You didn't see national.
I did go.
You went to state.
That's good enough, ain't it?
No. That ain't national. That ain't national.
I ain't fast enough. Look, I ran a 4.3 seconds in 40 yards. I did pretty good.
But you got little legs, though.
That's what it was. It like that. Sound like an ant running.
Your legs too little.
Yeah. Hey, man, but speaking of, shout out to Noah Lyles, Shakari Richardson, Gabby Thomas, everybody on the whole podium, man. The black people stood up, man. We got them medals. We got them golds for bringing them back, The good luck for all that. That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to Team USA, man.
Oh, yeah. They did the thing there. They did the thing there. I'll be there back in my day, man,
Yeah.
Now I don't hear nothing but crack on the popping now.
The older you are,
man,
the faster you used to be.
Yeah.
He been dreaming for like 20 years now.
And that's on those 20 years.
I'm fast.
But I had to get off that, man. You don't gotta laugh, man. But doing your comedy, do you want to go on the road with it, or you want to just stay?
Definitely. I want to go on the road with it.
Yeah.
I want to.
You don't seem scared to do it neither.
No, I'm not. I'm not, man. I want to stand out in front of people and tell jokes, make people laugh, and I want to live in a big, nice house.
And that comes with it.
I want to be able to sow out into the community, and
that's real.
Thing, so
a lot of people don't bring it up about the community.
Yeah,
us as black folk, when I see what I got my tech, I was gone. I got to get on up out of there. Yeah. But it's all about taking care of the community, man. But it's a lot of haters in the community.
Oh, it is. It is.
That's the only downfall about the community. They hate on each other.
It is.
Instead of building the community up.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
don't let the Migos do it. That trailer park is turn. You hear me? They don't mind doing it. What else you got on there, Ski?
So, I know you close, affiliated, and you got a lot of law enforcement friends, and I know you also have a son in law enforcement, so you know how to deal with law enforcement. So explain the importance of that, man, of knowing, how to deal with law enforcement and what to do if something may arrive, if the law comes up to you and they try to stop you, or if you happen to get in some trouble, for shooting somebody or something.
And the first thing the first thing when it comes to law enforcement, I like to tell everybody, I do have a lot of friends in law enforcement, got a lot of friends in the courthouse, all that stuff, but law. Every cop is not a bad cop. Every cop is not the cop you see on TV shooting somebody or choking somebody up, that didn't deserve to be shot or didn't deserve to be choked up. And the respect side of it is, a cop has a gun to protect himself, not to protect you. He's got a gun to protect himself, not to protect you. I tell anybody, when approached by law enforcement, especially inside your vehicle, a lot of people don't really think about it. Hey, but you want your hands on the steering wheel. You want your fingers where they can see them. At the very first moment that you have to speak, you go ahead and speak. You let them know where your firearm is. You don't go reaching. You don't go touching your firearm because, again, his gun is to protect himself, not to protect you.
Yeah. And then you know, to piggyback with you, this right here.
Yeah.
It changes the game.
And it does. I've been stopped a lot. I get stopped a lot, and
you be speeding on.
No, I don't be speeding.
I speed bad.
Nah, man, I've been blessed enough to. I've been blessed to over the past several years to drive nice vehicles.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, I get stopped a lot
because of that.
But I tell everybody, cooperate now, complain later.
Yeah.
Cooperate now, complain later.
Cause that's the difference between life and death.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
A lot of times we see somebody getting shot or getting handled a certain way by law enforcement. They don't cooperate now.
Yeah.
Let's cooperate now and complain later.
Got that right. I'll call you later, but I got to go and handle it right now.
Right.
And it was something, after I left your class, I went back like I was taking the Bible, passing it out to everybody. It's a witness right here. I was saying, this is what Bruh said. Bruh said, what you got to do. Okay, I have a lot of friends, family members that have kids, and something you said I didn't know. When you got kids at a certain age in your vehicle, you can't have your firearm out.
Okay. In the state of North Carolina,
listen,
open carry. Now, and I'm only referencing North Carolina, but open carry. If you're open carrying your firearm without a concealed carry permit, you cannot have a minor inside the vehicle. Now,
so minor is 15,
18 and under.
18 and under. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought, so 18 is not an adult.
No.
Okay, I thought it'd be
Over
17.
over 18
is an adult.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't know that. They say, well, I'm not going to get my conceal. I'm going to open carry. Well, I'm open carrying, and now I've got a child in the back seat who has access to my firearm. Child endangerment. That type of thing. So, and a lot of people don't want to get their conceal because they think, well, if I get my conceal, then it's going to be this, or if it's going to be that. It's going to put a target on my back. No.
I thought that for a long time, man. I said they gonna run my place and they gonna automatically put a target on me. That was in my mindset. You know what I'm saying?
But do it. Okay, let's clarify that. Do it when they run your test. Do it. Say you had your conceal.
It's linked to your driving record. It is. It's linked to your driving record.
But not open carry though.
No. Open carry is just. The state says that you can open carry your firearm, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia.
Okay.
You've got some constitutional states that allow you to open carry your firearm.
Okay.
To carry your firearm.
Okay.
Without a permit. But in the
rules have changed, and they kind of changed for the worse to me, based off you don't need no kind of training to have a firearm. I think they should go back to doing the training.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you can walk in a gun store, purchase a firearm, walk over here, buy you a holster, put the firearm on you,
and go and keep moving. Ain't had one day of training, ain't been in the country with your people.
We know people. And he bought a gun, he walked out the store and put it in his pocket.
Yeah,
and he walks around with it to this day in his pocket.
Yeah.
And then
but you can't do that because that's concealed.
That's concealed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Concealed.
Yeah. So, and another thing for all my guy friends out here, some of you females, I know how y'all keep it in the pocketbook. He made a very interesting point when I took his class. If you was to get stopped by the police and you have your firearm with you and it's black and you have black seat covers, he recommended something I never thought about is to put something down of maybe white where they can see a firearm because that's still considered.
Well, it's up to law enforcement.
Okay.
You do, like I said, you got some good cops, some bad cops. You got some people who just want to generate revenue. And remember, law enforcement does generate revenue. So
from getting stopped and all that.
If you get stopped and you got a black gun on the black seat, law enforcement can say,
I ain't see it.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I didn't see it. And then guess what you got to pay for?
I can put it on my hip. They ain't gonna see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
you black.
Yeah.
I said, nah, ain't that dark. But for all the people out there, I give you 100 out of 100. Can you let them know like how can they get in contact with you to take your class, and how much do your class cost?
Man, my class is $75.
Ain't bad.
$75.
That's good.
And I pride myself on just word of mouth. My business over the past 15 years have been just word of mouth. I've been fortunate enough to train and teach professional football players and basketball players.
He's famous.
And government officials. I mean, so and I can't mention their names.
I'm about to name one, but never mind.
Secret societies.
Yeah.
A couple, some people in the music industry and stuff as well. But it's been completely word of mouth. I tell everybody, come to my Instagram page, Mr. Barino _gun guy _fun guy.
Yeah.
So and I'm not hard to find, and that's it. Word of mouth.
Yeah. And who are some of the people that you work with? Like who are some of the people that know that you're linked with, that you do your thing with?
Definitely, man. I gotta give a huge shout out to Eagle 1, Eagle 2, the owners of Eagle 1 and Eagle 2, the Johnson family, Kevin and his wife Felicia. Man,
they cook some good collard greens.
They've supported me. They've allowed me to train and use their facilities for my students. I got to give them a huge shout out. Eagle 1, Eagle 2. Also, I've got some affiliates like Impact Machine out of Monroe, Louisiana. He does a lot of my work for me, my slide work. I've got Firing Squad Firearms out of Thomasville, North Carolina.
Come on now.
I mean, I've got XRT Solutions out of Sanford, North Carolina, and these are all people that do work for me, like that help me customize.
You got some nice customizations
like that.
Yeah.
And I'm real picky. I'm real picky when it comes to my stuff. And Gat Monkey is a sling company that I mean, I've got some nice rifles and stuff. Gotta have a nice sling. So those are my main affiliates.
To piggyback, I don't know why I like piggybacking off.
You
people,
like to piggyback,
but you say you're very picky. Like, what do you mean by picky when it comes to a pistol? So when you buy a pistol, what is something you're looking for from the jump street when you walk in?
The first thing that I look for is comfort. I mean, I look for comfort, how the gun feels.
Okay.
The second thing is I look at the trigger. I want the trigger to work for me. A lot of people, when you buy a cheaper firearm, you think about it. You might buy a firearm that has that's got a heavier trigger. It's got a heavier trigger, which means it's going to take more money to actually train with that firearm. You got to get used to that trigger, which means you're buying more ammunition. You're spending more money on the range.
I did that. It was a high point.
Yes.
That was my first gun. High point.
Since we are talking about first firearms,
Chinese fire lance, a bamboo tube that used gunpowder to fire a spear, invented in the 10th century, is regarded by historians as the first gun ever made. Gunpowder was previously invented in China in the 9th century. The fire lance appeared in 10th century China during the Jinsong Wars. It is often considered to be a proto-gun, which is the predecessor of the hand cannon and the ancestor of all firearms. Fire lances were relatively short-range weapons and were used to give their user an advantage in close-quarters combat. Fire lances could only fire one shot, but being made of bamboo allowed them to be disposable. They were held in racks on city walls and made the perfect weapon against enemies trying to scale the walls. By the 13th century, fire lances hurled their projectiles with sufficient force to actually kill people.
And so I tell a lot of people, buy once, cry once. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and spend the money. How much is your life worth? Now, you don't have to go out here and buy, $3,000 firearm. But don't look and say, "Ooh, that one right there, 175." And
it never fire.
Right. Yeah. And I've seen it so many times. Yeah. So I look at the trigger, I look at the sights on it, and that's it. And if you go gun shopping with me, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, you got a ball," but I'm gonna tell you, "Hey, I'm not gonna let you buy that firearm that may or may not work." Now, I'm not gonna volunteer to stand in front of any of them.
You do damn right. Excuse my language.
but you already know.
Yeah.
Legit,
so
legit.
I know you probably don't do it, but it seems like you do a lot of Call of Duty customizations because your guns are top notch, like customized. Like, do you pick out those? Or?
Okay, so I don't do a lot of customizing anymore. I do expensive upgrades.
You hear that word changed?
I do expensive upgrades. For
all the people with no money, it's called expensive upgrades. It's not called customizing anymore.
And customizing guns don't come with a credit application. Now, I am in finance, but no. I mean, I do the firearms how I like them, how I like them, how they work for me.
Okay.
And that's it. You know, everybody. Some of us tall, some of us short, some of us.
Wait a
right-handed.
minute now.
Yeah, some of us are tall, some of
you
us
know
short.
what you is.
Yeah.
I gotta stay with baby nines and stuff. That's what I need. I need little guns
Down low.
But you know, with your attachments, I'm gonna give it to you in a minute. I see you looking
I
at
hope
it.
so.
But with your attachments, you know, do you have to have certain qualifications with some of the attachments that you get?
Well, when it comes to suppressors,
Okay.
you know, I mean, when it comes to suppressors and stuff like that, you have to register the firearm. You have to register the NFA item. It has to be registered. They have to do a background check. You pay the tax stamp.
Okay.
Those attachments are separate. But buying red dots and
that's legal.
Upgrade the trigger and stuff like that. All of that stuff is legal.
Don't upgrade the trigger too much. Now don't put it on no clear mode. Now you're going away from here.
Yeah, switches.
You're going away from here. We'll see you. What you got, Ski?
So you know, it might be someone out there, man, that's never shot a gun before. You know, they never been in the vicinity with a gun. You know, what can they expect if they attend your class? Will you help them with that? Will you help them with shooting and everything?
Absolutely. Like I said, I always charge the same price, and that price that I charge, I include a training. So I want to train you. I want to train you as well. And I've had, I train, kids, 10, 11 years old, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
But I've also had people in my class as old as 85, 86 years old.
I'm gonna get you.
and believe it, because you think about it, somebody at that age, they're
gonna take advantage of them.
They're an easy target.
Yeah.
They look like an easy target. And if you go back to my Instagram page, I had a lady, she was 86 years old. She shot for the first time. She said, "Hey, I've got an able body. I've never touched a firearm before. I want to get my concealed carry." She did amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Shout out to you.
I've got it on my Instagram page.
That's good, man, because the way the world is right now, everybody should get trained to have a firearm because people doing some unbelievable stuff we never thought of. You know what I mean? And we always say, well, that won't happen to us, that won't happen to us, but it's getting closer and closer to home.
It is.
Every news break is something happening closer and closer to home.
It is. Sure. And a lot of it's covered up. A lot of it's covered up.
True.
It depends on the neighborhood or the area that you live in. They may not want you to know that this person's house was broken into, or that person was robbed in broad daylight. So,
True indeed.
So you can't be blind to it,
Yeah, I sure don't. Maybe a little cockeyed, but I ain't blind to it. Now, I fire you up, man. Anything else you got over there?
Yeah, man. I took your class, man. It was funny, man. We had a good time, but it was one part, man, where you were very serious, man, and I just want to know how you kept your composure when my man fell out that seat.
Hey, man, I'm always cracking jokes. You know,
bro, hit that ground hard, y'all. I'm telling you, he hit it hard.
I'm cracking jokes. I'm high energy. I'm dancing and going on, but that was a moment that I didn't want to crack a joke, And I'm telling you, I mean, most of the time, people take my class and I don't know you in my class. I don't know what you're going through, and I'll bring up a certain situation or scenarios because I've seen a lot. I get to go to the courthouse. I get to sit through some cases and stuff like that. I've seen a lot, and I had one. And one reason I didn't like crack on that guy. I mean, I don't know what people are going through.
Yeah, that's true.
It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah,
I don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
I've had a lady, call me after a class and just let me have it. I can't believe you talking about me, blah blah blah. I can't believe what I've been. Man, lady, I don't know you. I don't know you.
I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
Calm down. I don't know you. You know.
But we live in a sensitive world, man. My granddad always told me if you take a brick and throw it into a pile of dogs, only one of them gonna holler. And that's the one the brick hit. So she felt guilty about something. You know what I'm saying? So.
Man, back in the day, I would have died laughing on the floor that day.
Man, during the day.
I grew up, the Lord has blessed me to grow up, man.
Yeah. Picky fire.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just got to laugh about stuff these days, man.
I cried in the car. I cried in the car.
You ain't the only person that cried in the car, man. I'm telling you. Man, my phone, as soon as I got in the car, my phone started blowing up. Bing, 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 bing.
Wow.
Hey, yo, what about the guy that fell? Bing, 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 bing.
He did just fall once, y'all. He fell twice. It was just like a bomb exploding each one. But forgive me, though. It was good.
I got one last question.
Don't talk about politics.
Nah, man.
Right, okay.
Do you do like in-home training? Like, do you go to people's homes and train?
I do all the time.
Is that a different price or the same thing?
And that's a different price.
Okay.
And here's the thing: people with money don't like to be around other people. So
I must be broke then, guy.
and some people, and some people with money, they have a lot of land, and they say, "Hey, I don't care how much you charge. I want you to come out here and train myself and my family and stuff." So I do that as well.
How does that make you feel getting a call by? You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm speaking in existence. LeBron James calling, but like, hey, man, I want you to come over right now. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't talking like that.
Well, I don't know.
It makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
But it always catch me off guard because I pride myself on my pricing and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, how do I charge this person? Do I
It's
charge
cost you
them?
$1 million,
Do I charge them like they got money or blah, blah, blah.
It's gonna cost LeBron $1 million.
I mean,
he
got it.
Yeah.
But it does feel good, and I mean it's a blessing to be able to go and to some of these people's house, and you like, man, God,
what am I doing,
man?
Yeah. Like, do they happen often though? Like, do people call you often to come, like, fly out? Or first of all, do they take care of that expense? Like, do they?
Oh yeah,
fly?
yeah. So they do. They take care of that. Yeah.
You big money grip then.
Nah.
Hey, nice.
Number one dope instructor. That'd be $29.99. I just made it up right now.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that again. Don't do that again.
That's for real though, man. But I really appreciate you, man. For taking the time out, man, today. I know the last few weeks stuff been happening and life been lifing, man. But we finally got to sit down and hear your story, man. Anything else you want to put on that thing, Ski?
Nah, man. It's been a good time, man. I appreciate your instructions and appreciate your classes, man. It was very informational.
Indeed.
I had a fear of like coming on here. Y'all remember Senator Mitch McConnell?
No.
Sound like my daddy name,
Mster Connell.
You talking about the guy that just stood up there and froze?
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping that didn't happen to me.
Hey, I would have kept the taste rolling. Hey, Mr. Barrino, snap out of it. Hey, for real though.
Me and too.
Hey, you jumped up here, and hey, man, cause you got the gift for it, man.
Hey, man.
So tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, man, to get your classes started, or just any questions they got about gun safety or anything. How can they get in contact with you?
They can get in touch with me. My Instagram page, Mr. Barrino _gun guy_fun guy. They can also reach me by phone, 336-491-2679. I tell everybody, you can call me. I'll answer your questions. I won't charge you to answer your questions, man. And refer your friends, your folks, your cousins, your mom, your brother, your sister. Everybody.
Yeah. Bring your dog around there. Teach them how to damn do something. You want to bite somebody, we train you how to do that too. But, before we get you out of here, man, had this thing a long time. We got you something, man, that say Backyard County presents Mr. Barino, a.k.a. One Dope Instructor, the Best Instructor Award.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's for you right there, man. We got you something. I had to find something, but, sorry, I tried to get somebody to look a little blacker, but.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. We can't tell you. I mean, you did it in gold. Is this real gold?
Yeah, it's real gold.
Thank you. You're a liar, bro.
Played it.
It's real gold to me.
It's real gold.
$29.99. Hey, man, but, that's for you, man. That's just a token of our appreciation, man.
Man,
like the old folks say at the church, we can't pay you for what you do, but that's just a token.
Oh yeah.
Of our appreciation. Amen. Amen.
That collection plate, right?
Well, I'll get the plate on that side.
But if I get a church, I'm gonna just get an ATM machine.
Man, I'd been to a church with ATM.
Yeah, they keep it in there.
Yeah, I'd have been to a church with ATM machine. So have. And it's right there, and it's 5s and 10s spit out. So yeah, they had it in there. Yeah. I ain't gonna call the church name, but y'all know who you is.
Oh yeah, and they had a fee on it too.
Yeah, it was a fee. Could have been free as Jesus, ain't it? Yeah, man. Look, man. Thank you. Y'all can email us at backyardcomedy3@gmail.com. If you got any questions for Mr. Barino, we'll pass it on to him. And let him respond to y'all, man. Get safed up. Learn your education about firearms.
Yeah.
You need to know what's going on because in the politic world, the decision that's about to be made. We gotta protect ourselves out here.
Gotta protect ourselves. The government don't protect us.
No, they sure don't, man. So, as always, I got my boy. Oh, excuse me, baby. Please hit it, baby.
You already know it.
That's Mr. Barino down here sitting on with us today. He cool cat.
That's it.
Hey, I'm your boy Focus 26. Like I say, man, email us backyardcomedy3@gmail.com. Time is a precious thing to waste, so don't waste it by not watching Backyard Comedy. We appreciate y'all and we love y'all.